Now, what is Werribee reading at the moment, Jackie?
Yeah, well, I thought I'd have a look and see what our computer says that is going out the shelves at the moment.
Yeah.
Hourglass is our number one book, which is a young adult's third book in a series.
So it's a young adult
I'm not
novel?
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's started with Everlight, and I'm not sure if Hourglass is going to be the last. Or it'll just continue on. There's another phenomenon going at the moment, and that's like the series. That books just keep going and going and going. So,
and how quickly are you finding that the next book comes out?
It depends on the author. We've had a few tragic things happen, like the author dies.
Oh, that's a bit unfortunate.
and I know it sounds really extreme, but it's happened a few times.
Oh, wow.
And the fans have been up to like book 15. And they've just really
Oh, no.
So it's quite interesting.
Really, that many books? Like book 15?
Particularly in the fantasy genre. In the fantasy genre, they tend to go on and on and on.
Because fantasy would be very difficult to write, I imagine, because you virtually have to create a whole another
new
world,
realm,
don't you?
Yeah, exactly. So, but in young adults, since Twilight, you rarely just get the one book.
Yes.
Now,
Yeah.
you're getting, 2, 3, 4, 5 books in a series. And in fact, we've got so many people coming in at the moment asking when the next Vampire Academy book's out by Rochelle Mead. The vampires are in.
That hasn't died.
Oh, no,
yet?
it hasn't. No. We've got vampires and zombies. They're the hot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the hot topics. Yeah. The next book that's on the top 10 list was Firestorm, which is about Black Saturday.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's been a real.
Who's that been written by?
Well, it was a collaboration between some of the people that were involved.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And because we've had the anniversary recently of Black Saturday, so that's obviously attracted people to, and it's a beautiful. A photographic representation, just some, it's hard to say beautiful, isn't it? Because it was an awful weekend.
Yes.
But just some of the incredible images. Yeah.
And is that photographic and story as well?
Some stories, personal stories and accounts and stuff.
Yeah.
The next one's another young adults, which is called Sweet Little Lies, and it's the second book after LA Candy. So that's that's not a vampire series.
To hear that there's some that aren't vampires and zombies.
Then we've got a cookbook, which is Crunch Time with Michelle Bridges. That's Michelle's from The Biggest Loser. One was Alice in Wonderland movie tie-in, and the movie just came out today, and I can't wait to see it.
I was reading the review of that today, and apparently they were saying that it was quite dark. They said, I think it's been rated for PG.
Okay.
And they were because apparently it picks up after the story of Alice in Wonderland finishes.
Oh,
it picks up after that. She goes back and she's 19.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and and they said it's very dark. So they said taking young children, well,
it's
obviously
not appropriate.
It's a PG, but they said people might have an image that it's not
the
quite
story.
Yeah,
well, my
dark.
impression has been all along that it's actually the story that we know.
No, it actually picks up after it ends up, because apparently from what I read today, she is going to be married off, as you are in that era, and she escapes back to Wonderland, and and apparently the Queen of Hearts has taken over. She's a very dark Queen of Hearts.
And Johnny Depp has this image that he tends to play these children's characters in a really dark way, because even when he did Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, people commented about that as well.
It was, but I actually don't mind that one.
Yeah, I do. I mean, he was supposed to be a bit mad, wasn't he?
But mind you, I have to put it on record that any regular listener will know anything with Johnny Depp in it,
is great.
That's all I'm going to say to it anyway. So, yeah.
So I'll just quickly go through the rest. We've got Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Which has just been a movie, an animated movie.
And Looking for Ella Brandy, which was made into a movie. LA Candy, which is the first book of that Sweet Little Lies that was further up the list. Lord Sunday, which is a children's series by Garth Nix, who's also a fantasy writer. And Miles to Go, which is the Miley Cyrus biography.
Miley Cyrus biography? We think she'd done enough to have a biography yet. going to have biographies in installments.
I think so. So she'll have a series of biographies.
And by the time she's in her 50s, she's up to her 15th book. That's updating everyone on what's happening with her. Now, hasn't she been a phenomenon?
Oh, hasn't she?
Oh, wow, absolutely. She's done a lot better than Dad did. I mean, Dad's doing well now with being attached to her, so to speak. But, she's had quite a time.
Yeah.
She was out here recently.
Oh, was she?
Yeah, she was, because her boyfriend apparently is Australian.
Okay.
So she came down over Christmas, I think it was. So I know all the goss.
Yeah, sounds like it. Yeah.
Now, one of the things I'm getting there from your list is that there's a lot of young adult novels.
A lot.
That's a really big market, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And that's why a lot of our communication in the store these days we do online. We've even got a Facebook page for the shop, because that's how the customers want to interact with us.
Yes.
And it's great. It's great to see young people reading again.
Oh, it is very much so. Very much so. And as you said, you've got a bit of variety from the, maybe darker vampire zombie side to the more light-hearted. Are there a few out there, boy meets girl type stories as well?
Well, all the vampire ones are.
I was going to say, I should have finished that, who are not vampires.
No.
I wonder if does that mean that we've all given up trying to find a mortal man?
Maybe. I think it's saying something about what women are looking for these days. Actually, there is a new trend coming, and it's fallen angels.
Oh, okay.
So there's a lot of angels falling in love.
Oh, wow.
But there's a lot of this theme of, the Romeo and Juliet theme, like, the wrong side, a human with a vampire and a fallen angel with a human. And
that you can't quite get together for whatever reason
it's all this sort of impossible love.
Well, I mean, you're a parent. If, one of your children come home, I mean, they're young now, but later in life to say, Mum, I'm marrying a vampire. You wouldn't be pleased. To be honest, you wouldn't be pleased.
Well, I'd say, tell me a little bit more about that.